This story is meant to be told in one continuous flow, without short pauses, without frequent breaks. The way a deep night thought keeps going when you cannot sleep, the way fear slowly crawls instead of jumping at you. They say the night is silent, that after a certain hour the world rests. But that is something only said by people who have never been awake at exactly 3 in the morning, because 3 a.m. is not quiet. It is observant, it listens back, it waits, and if you are awake at that hour you are no longer alone, even if no one else is in the room. I used to think all of this was superstition, stories made to scare children or create mystery for late-night videos, until the night when my eyes opened on their own and I realized I had not chosen to wake up. The digital clock beside my bed glowed softly in the darkness, the red numbers burning into my vision. 3 a.m., perfectly aligned, perfectly still. And in that moment, I felt something strange. Not fear immediately, but awareness. The uncomfortable feeling that comes when you know you are being noticed. I did not move, not even to turn my head, because my body felt heavier than usual, as if the air itself had thickened around me. And then I heard it, not a sound you could point to, not a noise you could record easily, but a whisper that felt closer than sound should be, like it was happening inside the space between my thoughts. The whisper was soft, broken, almost unfinished, as if whoever or whatever was speaking was still learning how to form words. And it said only two things at first: wake up, even though I already was. And when it said that, my chest tightened, because the voice was not coming from the door, not from the window, not from anywhere logical. It was simply there, present, sharing the darkness with me. I told myself it was imagination, a dream bleeding into reality, something that would fade if I ignored it. But the whisper did not fade, that lingered, patient. And then it said my name, perfectly, exactly the way someone who had known me for a very long time would say it. That was the moment fear arrived, not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly, settling into my stomach like cold water. I did not answer, I did not move, I did not even blink, and after a few seconds that felt much longer than they were, the whisper stopped, leaving behind a silence that felt incomplete, as if something had stepped out of the room but never truly left. When morning came, sunlight made the experience feel unreal, like something I had exaggerated in my memory, and I laughed at myself, blaming stress, blaming lack of sleep, blaming anything that allowed me to feel normal again. But the next night my eyes opened again, just before the clock changed, and I did not need to look to know the time, because my body already recognized it. 2:59 turning into 3 o'clock, and this time the whisper did not wait. It began immediately, clearer than before, closer than before, and it spoke with confidence, telling me not to turn around, telling me to keep my face exactly where it was. And the strangest part was not the command itself, but the tone, because it sounded familiar, almost disappointed, like someone correcting a mistake I had made long ago. Night after night it continued, always at the same hour, always in whispers, never loud, never aggressive, always calm, as if it knew it had all the time in the world. Sometimes it sounded like one voice, sometimes many layered together so softly that they blurred into each other, and they spoke in fragments, sentences that felt like parts of conversations I could not remember having, telling me we have been here before, telling me you promised, telling me do not let them hear us. And every time I tried to make sense of those words my head would ache, as if understanding them completely was not something I was supposed to do yet. I began recording my room at night, setting my phone to capture audio while I pretended to sleep, desperate for proof that this was not just happening inside my mind. But when I listened to the recordings the next day, there was nothing, only the sound of my breathing and the distant hum of electricity, except for one night when the audio spiked suddenly, violently, at exactly 3:07 a.m., and a voice that was not mine whispered clearly into the microphone, "He can hear us now." And when I heard that sentence in daylight, my hands shook so badly I had to sit down. Sleep became impossible, and when I could not sleep I searched, digging through forgotten forums, abandoned blogs, old posts written by people who never returned to update them. And the pattern was impossible to ignore. Strangers from different countries, different languages, all describing the same experience. Waking at 3 a.m., hearing whispers, feeling watched, being warned not to respond, and one post, buried deep in a thread that ended years ago, explained why, saying that if you answer them they learn your voice, and if they learn your voice they can replace you. At the time those words sounded dramatic, fictional, exaggerated, but fear has a way of changing meaning. On the night I made the mistake, the whisper was closer than it had ever been. Not in the room anymore, but right beside my ear. And it did not command or accuse. It begged, sounding scared, sounding human, asking me to please say something. And in that moment my instinct overpowered my logic, because humans respond to fear with empathy. And I whispered back, asking, "Who are you?" And the instant the words left my mouth, the silence that followed was so complete it felt like pressure, like the world itself had paused. Then the whispers returned all at once, not around me but inside me, overlapping, grateful, relieved, thanking me. And from that night onward I stopped waking up at 3 a.m. The whispers disappeared completely, but peace did not replace them. Something else did. People tell me my voice changes sometimes. Then I repeat phrases I do not remember saying. My phone records audio at night that I have no memory of. And occasionally, when I am completely alone, I hear someone quietly practicing my voice, getting better at it, smoother, more natural. So, if you are watching this late at night, if your eyes suddenly open without warning, if you feel that strange awareness settle over you, and a whisper reaches out from the darkness at exactly 3 a.m., do not answer, do not ask questions. Do not listen too closely, because once they learn your voice, you are no longer the one who gets to decide when you speak, and whatever is whispering will no longer need you to be awake to be heard.